Hi, my name is Una, and I'd like to propose a question. Are bugs dirty? When I say the word cockroach, what first comes to your mind? Is it gross, scary, dangerous, disease carrying? If you're anything like me, as a kid, you were often told to not touch cockroaches because they carry diseases. And that's not untrue. Cockroaches can carry diseases, but the reality is likely a little different than what you've been led to believe. In reality, a cockroach coming from somewhere like New York City will be dirty because the ground in New York City is dirty. A cockroach coming from your average suburban home is only going to be as dirty as that suburban home. This is a little different in apartments because they can come from your upstairs or either side of you's apartments, and well, you don't always know what your neighbor's got going on in there. But generally, a cockroach will only be as dirty as its environment. We think of cockroaches as dirty because they're attracted to trash and decaying matter, because that's what they eat. Cockroaches inherently aren't actually very dirty, as cockroaches, like most bugs, commonly clean themselves whenever they do get dirty. The only problem is cockroaches have these little tiny spines on their legs. They are to help them climb surfaces, which is one of the reasons they're able to so easily climb your ceilings. But in these little things get stuck bacteria and microtrash, which is why they're able to carry diseases. In reality, only 30 out of 4,600 species of cockroaches ever come into contact with humans. Most live in nature like any other bug or animal. The problem is, we often think of cockroaches invading our homes when we not only invaded their homes, we destroyed them. This means as humans took over more and more of their natural habitats, they just evolved to coexist with us. So much so that some species of cockroaches have evolved to be resistant to pesticides, because that is how much we've been trying to kill them, when in reality, we should be dealing with why they're here. The fact that humans, innately on how we live, are dirty. Cockroach actually comes from the Spanish word cucaracha, which in 1620 was simplified to cock and roach. The Latin scientific name comes from the word blada, which translates to an insect that shuns the light. This term in classical Latin was actually not used just for cockroaches, but also mantids. While I continue to talk about these fascinating critters, I thought you might want to see one. So that comes this nice little terrarium behind me. Here I've actually got a colony of dubia roaches. Dubia roaches are captive bred roaches usually used for food for reptiles or amphibians. These cuties, is everyone in the gourd? God. Hi guys. Let me make sure there's no babies. No, please. Please, please, please tell me I'm right. This is actually a male and a female. So this one here with the wings is a male cockroach, while the one without the wings is a female cockroach. Cockroaches are actually a lot like us in that they are incredibly social creatures. Some species of cockroaches can even recognize their kin by smell and react to them as such. Cockroaches also use pheromones to communicate where food and water sources are to other cockroaches. Cockroaches are also shown to make communicative and cooperative decisions, meaning what one cockroach does is based off of what the rest of the cockroaches in the colony do. So if one cockroach goes to a food sources, when one cockroach goes to a food source, the other cockroaches will follow. And how many cockroaches are at a specific food source will determine what food source is stayed at with by the rest of the colony. Also, most species of cockroaches, with only a couple exceptions such as the Asian cockroach, absolutely hate light. So if you don't like cockroaches, maybe keep the lights on. More interesting, it's been shown that cockroaches that are isolated from their group or family actually get depressed. Cockroaches that are isolated will be shown to eat less and also leave their home less. Pretty much just doing what humans do when they're depressed and just sitting there, which is really sad. And when these cockroaches are introduced back to the main colony, they have trouble basically making friends and communicating with other cockroaches, having trouble recognizing the opposite sex as well, which is extremely similar to the human behavior that humans that are isolated will usually have a harder time making friends, basically becoming socially stunted. Hey, you're being very good. Oh no, we've decided we do not want to be with me anymore. I'm sorry. Some species of cockroaches are even able to make sounds to communicate, like hissing or chirping. This is especially done when it comes to courtship, meaning the males will usually make noises to attract and impress the females. Even some species of cockroach, like the Australian cockroach, will make rhythmic tapping noises to communicate. Like other insects, cockroaches breathe through a series of tubes called trachea, which are attached to spiracles on the body segments. This means that cockroaches do not have lungs, neither do they breathe through their mouths. This is why, technically, a cockroach can lose its head and still be alive because it is able to breathe without it. Please don't remove their heads, though, it's very mean. On a side note, if you believe the myth that a worm can be cut in half and become two worms, don't do that. It does not become two worms. But that actually does come from what is sort of a worm. It's a species called the hammerhead worm, which are a predatory worm that eat other worms. And they not only can be split in half and live, but they will become two separate worms. And not only that, but they will retain memories. Both of the worms will retain each other's memory. I'm sorry, that's like supernatural superpower stuff, and that's really freaky, but also cool. Can I pet you? No. Anyway, back to cockroaches. One of the reasons they can be considered such pests is that a female cockroach in good conditions can produce around 300 to 400 offspring in her lifetime, laying around 30 to 40 eggs at a time. And said babies, it can take from only 3 to 4 months to a year for them to become sexually mature and start making babies of their own. Cockroaches also usually only live about up to a year, but some species in lab settings have been shown to be able to live up to 4 years. Some species of cockroaches can also give live birth. I'm sorry, did I startle you? It's okay. Other species of cockroaches have also been able to reproduce via parthenogenesis, aka the girls are able to reproduce without a boy, aka asexual reproduction. Another reason cockroaches are often considered pests is that they are incredibly hardy. They don't die. Cockroaches are actually able to go without food for around a month. Hey, hey. Hey, no, don't go in my hair. Hey, like I said, cockroaches are able to survive without food for about a month. And after that, they're able to easily survive off of things like the glue from the back of postage stamps. You don't eat postage stamp glue. No, no, no. These guys get carrots, blueberries, and occasionally treats like stale Cheerios or like leftovers of my food. Also, like I mentioned earlier, they can technically survive for a short period of time without their heads. This is only a short period of time as they obviously cannot eat. And again, they still feel pain, please don't do this. Also, the head has also been proven to be able to live for a very short period of time without the body, showing signs of life like antenna movement and even eating, which the food obviously doesn't go anywhere. Anyway, this creeps me out a lot. I don't like it. You've also likely heard claims that a cockroach can withstand a nuclear bomb, which, no, but also kind of. Because obviously, anything in the radius of a nuclear bomb in like the major hit zone becomes dust, including cockroaches. They are not that you've likely. This little exoskeleton does not do that much to protect them. But the thing about cockroaches is that they can withstand very large amounts of radiation. This is because cells are the most vulnerable when they are splitting, and cockroaches' cells only split once when they molt, or each time they molt. So this means that it's likely if a bomb dropped, there wouldn't be like all the cockroaches molting at the same time. So some of the cockroaches would be fine. But if the radiation is like sticking around, the cockroaches would still be affected. Now, I know not everyone wants cockroaches in their homes, but I'd like to really deter you from using things like glue traps, as glue traps are very, very cruel for any animal, as they leave the animal to starve to death, which is basically the worst way to go. Don't do that, please. But there are natural preventatives like bay, catnip, mint, cucumber, and garlic. Generally, essential oils and herbs are a cockroach no-no. They will stay away. But the best places to put them are places like your windowsill, doors, or if you have like an infestation of them in your cabinets, go for that. Cockroaches born in labs or controlled environments are also sometimes used for food. Apparently, they taste like cottage cheese, which seems very weird to us, I know, but I mean, we eat oysters, which are basically like the livers of the sea, so I really don't think we have the ability to judge. Chinese and South Korean researchers are also investigating cockroaches in things like cures for baldness, cancer, and AIDS, as well as a dietary supplement. I don't know. In a recent study, it was also found that dubia roaches, aka these little guys, are able to ingest and digest certain forms of plastic, meaning they might be good for degrading plastic, aka cleaning up our giant mess. While cockroaches are incredibly hardy, there are actually some species that are endangered. Now, I'm going to look over there and I'm going to try to pronounce these names, but I cannot promise anything. Specifically, the Lord Howe Island wood-feeding cockroach, Desolia ornata, I'm putting these over here, Nocticola Galatiae. These are endangered both because of rising sea levels, aka global warming, and habitat loss because of us. Not really anything is being done to protect these cockroach species, but generally paying attention to things like global warming and things like deforestation will help these little guys live. Dubia roaches are fine, but those species. I've also had a few different friends and people over my lifetime claim that a cockroach has chased them before. And I don't not believe you, but let me explain what's actually happening. So, like it's been said, cockroaches hate light. They do not like it. So if you come into a room and turn the light on and they're on the floor, if you are the closest object to them, they don't see person, they see weird looking tree. So they're going to go for you in the hopes of getting shelter. Same thing with your shadow. A cockroach and actually many insects are known to chase human shadows, especially in places like the desert where it is hot. So a lot of people end up thinking these guys are chasing them when in reality they just want to use them for shelter. Also, other than it just being the kind thing to do, another reason to release a cockroach outside instead of killing it in your home is that cockroaches carry their eggs on them until they're ready to hatch. Meaning, if you squish a cockroach, it's likely you're not squishing the eggs, and even if you clean it up, it's likely the eggs will hatch in your trash, and then there will be more. There will be more. Also, like I said before, cockroaches attract each other via pheromones, meaning your squished cockroach is now like an alert to everybody to come over there. Some cockroaches, like many animals, will also cannibalize if the other cockroach is already dead. So let me please ask you the next time you find a cockroach in your home to find the kindest weapons you can, a cup and a piece of paper, to kindly take them outside and release them away from your home. And if you're worried about them being dirty, some simple soap and sanitizer will get you all back to clean again. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you be a little less scared of these little guys.
Show the camera how cute you are. Wave bye. Say bye-bye. Bye, people.
Bye, guys.